I cannot get over how good the view is out the window. And there's seating outside as well for if you wanted to look out. This is what I've got so far for a resupply. I only need enough food to get me 3.5 days to Delaware Water Gap. Today I'm zeroing, and then I think it should take me 3.5 days. So I've just got like some dinners, some bars and stuff for snacks, honey buns for breakfast, and then these are like leftover from my last resupply, and then one of these to try. And then these I got from the hiker box. They were left in there for free for hikers, so I figured I'll try these. They're electrolytes. Never tried them, but we'll see how they are. All right, hi everybody. So today I'm in the Lookout Hostel in Pennsylvania. I stayed here last night. I took a Nero yesterday, so I only did 4 miles and got here around 11 and did all my stuff, shower, laundry, resupply, editing videos, all that yesterday. And then today I'm taking a 0 day, so I'm not hiking at all, and I'm just hanging out here all day. So I figured while I'm bored and have nothing to do, I'll answer some questions that I've gotten on YouTube videos and under like my community tab. I've had some people ask me questions, so I'm gonna make a video talking about it. Boxman asked me how I'm doing in my off-trail, like post-trail life, and my future like hiking plans and stuff. Obviously I'm back on trail right now. I'm doing a long section, but I'm still like not through hiking, so I would consider it like post-trail life or whatever. I was not doing great when I first got off trail. Felt like a failure. I was really confused by kind of like the way I was feeling on trail in Georgia, because I knew that couldn't be right, you know, like I knew that I loved to hike and I did like backpacking, and obviously like I've been out on trail now 3 weeks and I'm not getting off yet. So I've been doing well out here, so it just really confused me like why I lost my marbles in Georgia. That being said, I struggled a lot when I got off trail. A lot of back and forth, like venting to my friends and my partner. They were probably tired of hearing about it. Honestly, mostly everybody in my personal life is probably tired of hearing about it. And I just was freaking out. And then after a couple weeks, I started missing the trail again. But since coming back out on this section and doing more miles and realizing that I am capable of long distance backpacking, I've been much better in my post-trail life, and very optimistic for the summer and my future, and like when I have to go back and get a job. Like I feel like this has given me some closure and made me realize that like I can still finish this trail. As far as my future hiking plans, after this section hike, I'm not sure if I'll be doing another section this summer, like not another long section, but I have some plans in the Adirondacks and the White Mountains, because on top of finishing the Appalachian Trail, some of my other hiking goals are to do all the 48 4,000 footers in the White Mountains and all the 46 4,000 footers in the Adirondack high peaks region. So I'll be working on those. I have a hike for mental health up Mount Washington at the end of August that I'm doing. At some point, my next section will probably be Massachusetts. I know I had mentioned doing that this summer when I got back from trail, but I ended up going out to Harper's Ferry instead. And then in the future, I would really like to do the long trail. I feel like that's a smaller trail that I could through hike and more of an attainable goal in my mind. I also love Vermont, and I would knock out some Appalachian Trail miles, so I think that's another goal. But those are pretty much basically just finishing the Appalachian Trail and those 2 peak bagging lists. Mudflap asked me, did you think starting early made it more difficult? And also if I would recommend training for the Appalachian Trail. So as far as starting earlier, when I went out to Georgia, I had a week and a half of like 60 to 65 degree weather as the high, and then at night it was like, I think the lowest it got was like high 30s. So it really wasn't bad. And cold weather was not, it wasn't even cold, but that was not a reason that I got off trail. However, the week that I got off, they had literally freezing temperatures, and I was talking to people that were still on trail, and they were like on the verge of being hypothermic one night. So that probably would have made me want to get off the trail. I don't think I would have done well in the cold weather. If you don't deal with cold weather well, I would recommend starting the AT between mid-March, maybe even end of March to April. And then as far as training for the AT, yes, I definitely recommend physically training. People will make the comment that you can go out on the AT with no physical prep, couch to trail, they call it, and be successful. And while that's been true for some people, the AT is very physically difficult, extremely physically difficult, but it's very mentally difficult. And the mental aspect is usually what gets people off trail. But if the physical aspect is easier for you, the mental aspect is going to be a little easier, because when it's really physically hard, that creates more mental hardship in your brain on top of everything else that's mentally hard about backpacking. I did a fair amount of physical training before the AT, and Georgia has a lot of ups and downs. And while I didn't feel like I was having an easy time with Georgia, I felt like I was right where I needed to be successful in upping my mileage as time went on, and like feeling like I could do the climbs. But I could have been in better shape 100%. But I would definitely recommend it. It's going to make it easier for you mentally if you're physically in better shape. Austin asked me about my YouTube channel. He asked me about why I created my channel, what I like and dislike about making content, if it's satisfying to me. So I decided to create a YouTube channel because when I was watching videos on people doing through hikes, section hikes, and just backpacking videos in general, I thought it looked fun to make videos. And I liked the idea that if I made videos, my family and friends could easily go and like see what I'm doing, and I don't have to worry about like sending very detailed updates to everybody or like videos. Also, like for myself, I love watching back videos. Like I still watch back videos from like the beginning of my channel when I was doing like shakedown hikes for like the AT. Like I think it's fun. Like in years to come, I'm gonna have very detailed like visual excerpts from like every day. And there's a lot of things I'm gonna forget about these sections that weren't super memorable, but if they're in my video, I'll remember them. I do like having the channel. When you put yourself out on social media, you have to be able to take backlash. I'm okay at taking backlash. I'll definitely get annoyed at it, but there's some comments that are just comical to me, humorous, that somebody really spent the time. I'm picturing them behind like a keyboard, just like so pissed off at something related to me hiking, like that they're really taking time out of their day to comment on that. But so that would be like, I guess, you know, putting yourself out on the internet is a con. As far as like pros, you know, being able to watch the videos back, being able to share them with other people, maybe help out other people. I love when people tell me that they really appreciate me showing the more honest side of backpacking and showing the bad times. When people tell me that they learned, I had a hiker, he's a northbound hiker, he's up in Pennsylvania, he's probably in New Jersey right now, but I met him a couple days ago. He's been hiking since Georgia, and he said he watched my videos when he was learning, like figuring out like prep for backpacking and the through hike. And I just think that's crazy because like I'm new to it and I learned a lot from other people's videos, and then I kind of made my own choices and talk about it in my videos. But I think that's cool that other people have watched my videos, are like, oh, maybe I should get this piece of gear, or that's good input on that. I just think that's cool. So there's perks, there's pros and cons to putting yourself on the internet. I really just do it for fun too. Like this isn't like a stream of income for me. I have a lot of people ask me is what my base weight is. So I have 2 lighter pack links, which is a website where you can make gear lists and like put in weights, and it calculates everything based on like the category for you and like what's in your pack, and like base weight, consumable, worn weight, so like the clothing you're wearing on your body and all that. So my winter lighter pack list, I believe, without looking at it, my base weight is 17 pounds. My summer base weight, I want to say, is between 13 and 14 pounds. But Jay Boone asked me how long I'm planning to be on trail. So my initial goal for this section was, I told myself I want to do at least minimum 100 miles, but ideally 2 weeks. I've surpassed both those goals at this point. I've done more than 100 miles. I've done 200. yeah, 220, I think, at this point. And I've been on trail for 3 weeks. Then my goal was like, okay, I'm gonna finish Pennsylvania, because I was like, I do not want to have to come back here. I just want to get the state done. It's a decently big state. It's 230 miles. So I'm like, I'm gonna do Pennsylvania. Well, I'll be at the end of Pennsylvania early next week. And now my plan, I'm leaning towards just going home to Connecticut, just walking to the border, and I'll get picked up, because I've done Connecticut. I don't feel the need to go through Connecticut. And at that point, I'm getting close to having another commitment back home, but I have a couple more weeks where I can hike. So even on the days where I'm thinking, oh, I just want to go home, I try to remember in my head, like, what are you going to go home and do? You don't really have anything planned, and you have the time right now, and you're young, so do the miles while you can. You know, your goal is to through hike the whole trail, and you're not through hiking, you're section hiking, but you have the time to do a longer section and get more miles done. And it's going to be harder to do that when I get a job, so I'm pushing myself to stay out here till Connecticut. That way I'll have covered Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, to the Connecticut-Massachusetts border. William asked me where I'm from because he saw my Catskill Falls video. I'm from Connecticut, but the Catskill area is only like 2.5 hours from me, so I go hiking there sometimes. I've been to Catskill Falls like 3 times. Then he asked me how I got my trail name. So I just got my trail name literally like a week and a half ago, but I didn't have a trail name, and I came out here, and the groups I was hiking with kind of knew that, so they were trying to think of trail names for me, but I wanted it to be something that like had a good story, like not something stupid. So Bad Bat gave me my trail name, Scorch, and it's because I've gotten better now, but my first few nights on trail, and honestly, even back when I used to, like, went back in Georgia, I would do the same thing. I just couldn't really figure out, like, the heat with the pot and everything, so I was just constantly, like, burning my food to the bottom of the pot. I'd have, like, caked on food at the bottom, black pot at the bottom, everything's burnt onto it. I boiled my water over onto myself once, and I've also boiled my water over other times too, so not great at cooking, just like scorched the bottom of my pot. Michael asked me if the purple pack that I was using in one of my videos while I was slack packing, if it was a loner pack, and what I put in my pack when I'm slack packing. So yeah, that purple bag was a loner pack. I don't have that. Usually if people offer to slack pack you, they'll have day packs or like fanny packs you could borrow. Sometimes if they didn't, I would have just carried my phone in a water bottle. And then when I slack pack, I like to carry water bottles, depending upon how long I'm going, 1 or 2. My water filter, just because I always feel like I should have that on me. My phone, snacks, my toilet kit, so like trowel, toilet paper, hand sanitizer. Wallet would probably be good. Based on the 10 hiking essentials, like a headlamp or a flashlight. I did not carry a headlamp, but... And then probably like maybe like a small couple little first aid items. But other than that, there's not too much else I can think of. Maybe an emergency blanket. Like anything you would take on a day hike, it's probably good to take slack packing. I tend to just take a water bottle, filter, toilet kit, snacks, my phone, wallet. But yeah, pretty much whatever you feel like you would need, the 10 essentials.